What would you say the video game market is like in the MENA region, and how has it evolved?
Well, the video gaming market in the region isn't quite big actually. Users, they do play. Everybody I know here or in Dubai or anywhere in the Arabic world, everybody has a PlayStation or at least an iPhone or a new Android. Everybody plays, whether on mobile or on console. But in terms of development, there isn't a lot actually. There aren't a lot. You have a couple of other companies that are developing games for mobile, but it's still very, very shy in the region. So the demand is really high. Everybody wants to play, but the offer is really low. Nobody actually develops these kind of things. Oh, not nobody, of course, you have some small developers, but nothing big yet. For example, people are getting interested more and more in the region. You have Ubisoft that actually opened offices in Abu Dhabi. So this is a very good sign that, the people are interested in developing games with an Arabic twist or with an Arabic content. So it's picking step by step. The investments are getting bigger. The VCs are interested in the region. So it's kind of happening step by step. It's still very shy at the moment, but definitely it's coming there within the very, very, very soon 6 months or 1 year.
Are other game developers in the region creating culturally and regionally focused games? And would you like to see more developers in the MENA region and around the world create culturally focused games?
Well, yes, of course, I would see more. In the region, we do not have yet a lot of developers that are developing games, so I have very, very few. Everybody is more focused on apps and applications, so they develop cultural applications, which we have a lot in the region, especially in Saudi and in Egypt. But in terms of gaming, there are quite few. There are a couple of studios based in Jordan, a couple based in Saudi and in Dubai, a couple as well in Egypt, and that's about it. You can really count them on your fingers. So yeah, I would recommend going in that direction because we're getting to a point when the App Store is flooded. All the games kind of resemble to each other. Everything is exactly the same. I mean, when you see a very, very big developer doing a game that was done a couple of months back, you say, wow, I mean, did they run out of ideas? So what's happening now is you cannot develop, you cannot, it's very hard to develop a really good, new, fresh idea. So maybe the direction is to go focused more on niche markets, like on Arabic content, on French content in France, on maybe English in the UK, on Latin America. So I really think that focusing on specific niche markets and culture games would be a very good idea and a very good way to go, especially for indie developers. I mean, for people like us who are still very, very small, we do not have big budgets to do a lot of marketing and advertising for our games. So we have practically 0% chance to succeed in a global way. But if you focus on a really concentrated idea, cultural idea, this might be, this might be the way to go.
Right.
So yeah, to answer your question, I would love to see more developers concentrating on that.
What do you think about the ways in which AAA developers currently portray Arabs and Africans in video games?
I can't blame them.
Yeah.
I mean, well, people are inspired or believe what they see on the media. And when you look at the media worldwide, you see that the Arab, the Middle East region, and Africa is all about wars and wars and wars.
Right.
It's not really that. It's really not that. And if you come to our region, you'll see it's really beautiful. The weather is amazing. People are funny. They really want to live, especially if you visit places like Beirut, like Egypt, like Dubai. You really want to have fun there. So I do not blame how they portray Arabs in that, but I would say before doing that, do some more research. I mean, open your eyes, come visit the region. We are Arabs. We don't develop American games. We don't develop French games. We're developing Arabic games because we understand the region. Mm-hmm. So why would an American developer develop Arabic games without understanding the region? This is the way I approach this. I mean, you guys want to develop a game that is based in Iraq or in KSA, visit the region, understand a little bit the behavior of people there, and then, develop whatever you want to develop.
Right.
But, assuming that Arabs all are terrorists, all of that, that's just wrong.
Right.
Again, I do not blame them, but I would recommend for them to do more research, to visit the region, to see what's happening there, and then go ahead and develop whatever you want to develop.
Right, that's definitely a good recommendation. How do they typically accommodate for differences in word pronunciation in the games that you've played?
Again, we're Arabs, so we know how to do it. In very Lebanon, the chicken that they are attacking, different Arabic countries. In Dubai, they speak Arabic like they speak in Dubai. In Lebanon, they speak Lebanese. In Egypt, they speak Egyptian. So we kind of localized and imitated the dialects of those different countries and included them in the birds. So when you see a bird speaking in Egypt, you'd understand it's Egyptian because the dialect, the accent is Egyptian. Same goes for Lebanon and other countries. So for us, it's pretty easy to do that because how we speak, how all Arabs speak. But yeah, it's not very easy to do it because as well you have a lot of different dialects. It's not only one dialect.
Do you believe MENA gamers prefer locally produced games or games made abroad and then localized for the region?
That's a pretty hard question. That's a pretty hard question. I have no idea, to be very honest. I mean, if you develop here in the region, Arabs would be proud of you because you developed something from scratch, developed something for them, you did something, so it has a nice feeling into it. However, taking an international game and localizing it, of course, you are assuming that the game is really, really successful. Everybody loved the game, everybody loved the concept, so Arabizing it is less risk for you that the game would succeed, actually. I mean, if you take Angry Birds and Arabize it, it will boom in the region. Everybody will adore this game. But if you create a new game from scratch, like we're doing for Rome for Peace, for example, we're taking risks because we have no idea if it will be successful or not. But again, if you develop an Arabic game, you are not only putting the Arabic language in it, you're integrating the music, the sounds, the dialects. Do you know that in the Arabic region, each country speaks with a different dialect? I mean, if Egyptian speaks in a different way, a Lebanese speaks in a different way, a Syrian speaks in a different way. So these small things are really important to include in a game, to have it really, really Arabic. So yeah, to answer your question really quick, I'm not really sure. I think that to take the safe side, you'd have to Arabize a successful game, but to create something innovative and for the region, you'd have to create it from scratch.
How have other video games influenced those produced by game cooks?
We are very influenced by small studios, actually. So we see how they approach their game, how they develop their games, and then we kind of understand how things need to be done for us. Because in Lebanon, you don't have, or in the Arabic world, actually, you don't have courses that teaches you how to develop a game. You don't have, any gaming institutions. So we kind of had to come up with the know-how ourselves. We looked a lot to Haverick Studios, which are the owners of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride. And Run for Peace, the game, is very inspired by Jetpack Joyride, for example. We take Haverick Studio as one of our examples, actually. They weren't very big in the beginning. They were a very small team, and they did excellent products. So, yeah, our inspirations as a teamwork and as a know-how, we get it from small studios as opposed to the big fancy studios. But of course, we try to see how the big guys are working as well. We do not have the capability or the know-how to do it like them, but we try to understand. We try to follow conferences. So we went for the San Francisco Gaming Conference. We're trying to go for Gamescom as well, because attending to those conferences and seeing what's happening in those regions, which are the leaders in tech in the world, would inspire us more and would give us more know-how, a better know-how.
Can you divulge any information about ideas for upcoming games and plans for the future of Game Cooks?
Sure, yeah. Actually, we're launching in about 1 month from now a new memory game. So it's a memory puzzle game. You have to be really fast to play, and you have to have an excellent memory. And if you don't have an excellent memory, this game will teach you how to have a good memory.
I don't have a good memory, so...
You love the game then. Then we're trying as well to start thinking about a new game. But for now, we have a lot of different ideas, but we don't know which one to take yet. So that's why I have nothing to share at the moment. But we are updating Run for Peace, definitely. We are adding more countries. And our goal in the near future is to have Salim, the character of Run for Peace, running everywhere in the world, not only in the Middle East. So if the game takes good success, we're going to invest in it more. We're going to have Salim run in the US, in Asia, in Europe, Latin America, to achieve peace worldwide. And of course, it's not only running in different countries. We will add more obstacles, we'll add more power-ups, we'll add more gameplay, we'll change a bit here and then. So it's like a totally new game, but it could be a continuation to Run for Peace.
You've probably heard about the new console Ouya. Have you talked about that console at all within Game Cooks? And are you planning to possibly create games for that console?
This console needs Android development, and we do have the capability to develop games for Android. We are doing Run for Peace on Android now, so it might work for that console in the future. But to be very honest, I just heard about it. I just scanned what's been written. We discussed it a little bit with the team here, but we haven't really focused on how to develop games for that console and who to contact to develop games, what's the store, what's the business model, and all those things. So we didn't really get into it yet, but it's definitely a great idea, definitely a promising, future idea. So we are definitely going to invest in it. But our first concentration now is doing an update for Peace and launching our new game. Once this is done, we will really focus on that. We have Smart TV on our radar as well. We have Android and of course iPhone. So yeah, I've heard about it, and I hope we can invest in it more in the future.
I have to say, I really love your icon of the fish with the frying pan. It certainly is a memorable one. I'm glad I had the opportunity to speak with you and learn more about Game Cooks. And thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Karen. It's been an amazing interview. Thank you.